So stay tuned in. Stay tuned into your guidance. Stay tuned into your intuition. Don't jump at the first sight of anything. Just be with it, sit with it, feel into it, and make sure that whatever you're perceiving as guidance or opportunity, that you're actually listening before you leap into that.
You're listening to Turn Your Soul On Radio. I am your host and visionary doctor, Dr. Brandy Victory, and my mission is to assist high-achieving women in closing the gap between feeling unfulfilled to living a life on fire. It is time, ladies, to champion our own lives and turn ourselves on. This is Living Victoriously, ladies. This is how you turn your soul on.
Hello, you radiant beings, and thank you for the blessings that you're bringing to life for me in this moment in time. And I so hope that what I bring forth for you is blessing your world 10,000-fold. I had no idea. I'm just so excited right now because I had no idea. I actually had so many listeners that are listening into this podcast. Like, it just thrills my heart. So I just want to give a big, huge shout out to all my listeners in China, in Spain, in Canada, in the UK, in Venezuela, and a shout out to my listeners in Germany, as well as my United States listeners. I've got you guys, you ladies are just awesome. Of course, I've got my Coloradans and Californians because that's where most of my contacts are, and I'm so grateful for those of you in Virginia, in Texas, in Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Nevada, Illinois, Missouri, Iowa. Oh my gosh, it's just spreading like a little wildfire, and I am so grateful. So thank you so much for being here and giving me purpose in my life to share joy and abundance of spirituality and inspiration with you. I'm jazzed. I'm so jazzed. And it just happens to be the day before a new moon. So it's our first new moon of the year. And I just thought I would share a little ritual with you today that you could take into your day to tomorrow, in any time between the 4th and the 7th. So I'm not sure when you're actually going to hear this, but if you hear it between the 4th and the 7th, this ritual will be awesome during those times. And essentially the new moon, anytime we have a new moon, it's actually this new moon is a partial solar eclipse, so it's a little bit different. When we have a partial solar eclipse, or any kind of solar eclipse for that matter, it basically energetically is lighting up a new pathway. So it's maybe helping us unfold a new storyline in our lives. And also it creates shadow. So sometimes what you see isn't always what it appears to be. So stay tuned in. Stay tuned into your guidance. Stay tuned into your intuition. Don't jump at the first sight of anything. Just be with it, sit with it, feel into it, and make sure that whatever you're perceiving as guidance or opportunity, that you're actually listening before you leap into that. It's easy for us, especially when we get really excited about something and we've been asking for something to unfold and we start to see it unfold, and it's easy to jump before we really step back and look. I'm actually doing the same thing right now. I have an awesome opportunity, and I'm so grateful for this opportunity to open an office in Boulder. And I had an office in Boulder. I took my office out of Boulder, and now I have an office up here in Nederland, right in my little town, which I love. And I have people, and I have a doctor who specializes in stem cell surgery for traumatic brain injury patients, and he wants to refer me patients, but his brain injury patients aren't wanting to drive up the canyon to get to Nederland. It's a crazy canyon drive. So, and I don't blame them. So I really think I want to open some space down there so I can start treating his patients. Now, I just as I am proclaiming is I'm just sitting with this, right? I'm like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? The opportunity is there. It's a really great person. One of my friends, she's amazing, the best mother in the whole entire world. Thank you very much. And it's just so wonderful. It'd be wonderful to work in her space. And excuse me, I pulled tarot on it, and I've been trying to get over there to look at the space, and I haven't been able to get over there for one reason or another. And then I pulled tarot on it, and I was like, I'm not really getting clarity on this. And so as I continue to sit with it and listen to my guidance is telling me, go check it out. Don't jump yet. And I'm not sure why that is, because there's nothing bad. There's nothing uncomfortable. It all feels really good. So I don't know. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to listen to it and I'm going to follow it, because I know for a fact if I do that, then I will be guided in the right direction. And either it's going to be a yes or a no. And I don't have to know the answer to that right now, right? All right. So just stay open. Stay open in your heart. Stay open in your trust, your faith, trust your intuition, trust your gut. So, enjoy this time, because when we come into January 20th, we'll be actually coming into a blood moon eclipse, which will be in Leo. This partial eclipse is in Capricorn. And Capricorn is really about public recognition and success and that kind of stuff. So it's fun that we're starting the brand new year with a new moon in Capricorn that's all around success. So just know that we're all being moved into new directions, or transforming the direction that we're going in some way, or opening the space for the direction that you're going in to be more graceful and with greater ease. But you still got to stay tuned into and make sure that you're moving in the right direction according to your inner guidance. All right. So the blood moon eclipse in Leo is it's going to be a lot more energetic. Like, there's going to be power behind that, and you can use this more gentler energy right now of this solar eclipse to really embody your vision and your dreams and cultivate what it is that you want to bring forth in this new year. Like, it's a gentle energy. It's kind of soft, and you can just set that intention right now. And when you come into January 20th, into the blood moon eclipse, which again will be in Leo, you will, it will just kind of set the stage for the universe to start moving things around and clear the way, so that the blood moon eclipse will have a much bigger impact. So one of the things that you could do if you're just really getting into this kind of practice is to create a vision board. I usually do create a vision board at the beginning of the year, but I actually just created one end of October or something like that, as I started kind of moving into a new vision for my practice and how I'm offering my work. So I developed that vision board to hold space for that. So I feel really complete in that. But if you haven't ever done a vision board, it's really fun. I just take a bunch of magazines or pictures off the internet, or even angel cards or anything that may be on your altar can go on your vision board even. And maybe get a piece of construction paper, or you can get a big poster board if you want to make a big one. I've even actually made a vision book. So I've used a spiral notebook, and I did a vision page on each page of the spiral. And basically all you do is you cut the pictures out that you're drawn to, that you think represent what you're trying to bring forth or intending to bring forth into the year, and glue them on the paper. I personally didn't find myself using the book very often, so I probably won't do that one again. Although if you're kind of, you need to conserve space, it is a great way to go. I have my vision board out in my living room, and I have one on my altar. So I have two, one's for my business, one's for my personal. And I love it. I look at it every single day, and it inspires me, and it reminds me of why I'm doing what I'm doing and what I'm bringing forth. So, some people like to put words on their vision board. Other people like to do pictures. Other people like to do a collage of things that are kind of modern kind of look. It's just whatever your your inner artist wants to bring forth in your vision board. But it's kind of a fun project. It can be overwhelming because people are like, oh, I don't have any magazines, and that seems like a long hour for a few hours or whatever. Well, just collect some magazines. You're going to go to the doctor's office or the dentist or the chiropractor or your nutritionist or somewhere that has magazines, and they'll probably have old magazines. Or you can even go to the store and ask them for their old magazines, because they have to tear off the front of them, but so you won't get the front of it, but it don't matter. You'll get the old ones if they still have them around. So yeah, make a vision board. And then the other piece to it is it can be a little bit overwhelming for some people who are not really clear on their direction. So I have quite a few people who come to me to help unlock that piece for them. And the primary thing I just want to share is to help you understand that you don't need to worry about it. You don't need to worry about your direction at all. You don't need to know what you're here to do right now, because what you're doing is what you need to be doing. Like, your purpose is being you. That is it. And for every single person, your purpose is being you. And then it's a matter of believing in yourself so much that you know that that's enough. So breathe that in for just a second. Even if you already know what your purpose is, or you think you know what your purpose is, or you're doing the job that you love to do in the world and your life is hunky-dory, just take a minute to go into your center and breathe in the understanding that you are enough, just like you are. Job, no job, purpose, no purpose, husband, wife, no husband, no wife, dog, no dog. You're perfect, just like you are. You are the purpose. Everything you do is your purpose. Every breath you take is your purpose. And just align with that. Your purpose is within you. And I know for every single person who's listening in on this podcast, you can feel the truth in that. So there are a couple of things that you can do as a ritual as you come into this new moon, this new year, yay, 2019. One of them is just a real simple thing, actually. I know some of my women are really into the crystals and the stones, and some of them have no idea about them at all. And so I invite you, regardless of where you're at in that spectrum, is to go to a store. If you already have a bunch of stones, go to your altar, pick a stone off your altar. If you don't have any stones at all, go to a store, a crystal store, and browse around. And I want you to pick out the one stone that just causes your inner body to say yes. You may find 3 or 4. If you do, just put them out in front of you and close your eyes and you can put your hand over each one of them. And as you put your hand over it, just feel what kind of feeling resonates through your body. So you may put your hand over a citrine and you're like, oh, okay. And then you may put your hand over a quartz crystal and you're like, ooh, that actually has a lightness to it. And then you may put your hand over onyx and there may be nothing. And then you may put your hand over a rose quartz and there's nothing. So if that happens, then I would be going for the quartz crystal. And maybe you don't feel anything. Maybe it's like nothing is really resonating with you. I just invite you to allow it in, because as women, we all have this deep connection to nature. And if you allow yourself to be in the flow of that, you'll start to feel the resonance of nature. You'll start to feel the resonance of people around you, of stones around you, of certain essential oils or smells. Some smells are bad even. I had somebody spray some Febreze or some kind of air spray around me the other day, and I literally got nauseous and a headache. I thought I was going to throw up. It was that bad. And I used to not be sensitive to that stuff, but I've just purified myself to the point where chemicals, especially spray chemicals like that, really just don't do anything for me. So you too have an innate sense about things, and it's really about you trusting that that sense is there and that it's guiding you in the right direction. And whatever you're sensing, whether you feel it with your hand or whether you feel it in your gut or whether it's just your, what you think your mind is saying, oh, I think I like a rose quartz, or oh, I think I like a citrine, or whatever you're looking at. And it doesn't matter. Just pick one. Just pick a stone. And once you pick the stone, take time to learn everything you can about it and use the magic and the knowledge and the wisdom, the inspiration that comes from your stone to inspire your life through the next month, 3 months, 6 months, and or to the next new moon. And just play with that. Use it for your 2019. I'm instilling this feeling or this understanding or this wisdom from this stone into my life this year. Maybe you play with it the whole year. Anyway, just another thought to make it easy. So sometimes rituals we can convince ourselves that they're not easy and that we don't know how to do them, but it doesn't have to be anything extravagant. Seriously, like just go buy a crystal and learn about it and feel into how that feels in your life. I am personally working with lepidolite right now. Lepidolite is a new stone in my stone collection, and it's fascinating. So what I just learned is that lepidolite actually has lithium in it. And when I was in the throes of bipolar manic depression, I was actually on lithium as a medication. So it's fascinating to be able to hold this and put it in my pocket and carry it with me and see if it does actually have the anti-anxiety qualities and the balancing qualities that lepidolite is supposed to have or lithium has. And I actually think it's working. I'm not extremely anxious by any means or imbalanced, but I still like to feel into the subtleties of things. So anyway, that's what you do. You just grab one, learn all about it, use it, and have fun with it. And then lastly, one of the things that I really like to do for every cycle of the moon, in the new moon and the full moons, and sometimes I do them at the quarter moons, is I like to do a ritual. And it honestly doesn't have to be very big. I know sometimes in the past I've passed them up because I'm like, oh, I'm too tired. I don't have time. It's going to take too long. And I would tell myself those stories and then I wouldn't do it. And then before I know it, I've lost touch with the moon and the cycles and and living intentionally and setting intentions and letting go of what I've been holding on to, and really using the cycles of nature and the universe to help facilitate what it is I want to experience. So I'm just telling you that because if you tell stories to yourself about how you can't do that, if it's too long or going to take too much time, then do a different ritual. Just do it for a minute, or say a little prayer, or hold a stone and envision your vision, or write down. You can literally 2 minutes or less, write down what it is you want to release and burn it. These are little tiny different things that you can do. There's a particular ritual I'm going to do tomorrow, and I actually got this off the Forever Conscious website, so I will put a link to that in my show notes so you can access it. But basically what you want to do, you're going to need a smudge stick, so something to smudge yourself with, and then you're going to need 3 pennies or small coins. You're going to need 3 white candles, or actually you just need 1 white candle. I'm sorry about that. 1 white candle, 3 pennies or small coins, smudge stick, 3 leaves. So you can go outside and just pull some leaves from your environment. That's what I like to do. I think she recommends using bay leaves or something like that, but I personally want to pull in what's in my environment to my ritual. So I'll just go outside and find some leaves. And if you don't have, if you're in an apartment complex or something like that, just go outside and walk around your apartment complex. Or if you're like in a parking lot somewhere and you see a leaf that calls your attention, pick it up. I've done this. Like I've picked up stuff on my path and used it in ritual many times. Okay, so we've got a white candle, 3 pennies or small coins. If you don't have a white candle, any candle will work. 3 leaves. And 3 small pieces of paper. And you're going to put this all in front of you. You're going to smudge yourself and smudge your space. Now, if you've never smudged yourself before, it's a very simple process. You just light your sage or whatever you smudge with, but most people smudge with sage. And then you just say, kind of like you just say a quick prayer. So you're waving it around in your space and you're letting the smoke go all around you. I like to get on the bottoms of my feet and on my hands and in my back and in my front and in my top. And say something to the effect of, I am cleansed of the past. I release the years gone by. I am emotionally and energetically opening myself to receive. I am blessed every day with new opportunities and experiences. I am whole and complete just as I am. I am connected to Source, to the earth. I am connected to all of nature. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's just like, it's a moment of sage actually helps you release what you've been holding on to energetically. So it kind of lets go. I sage myself after I see patients so that I can let go of their stuff because I can tend to carry that around with me. So you're basically just letting go of yesterday and you're calling in and honoring the understanding that you are blessed every single day. And that kind of sets the tone for your ritual. You may want to also cleanse your space. So if you're in a home or a room, you can sage the home or the room. When I do moon ceremony and people come over, I sage the doorway and I sage them as they come in. And basically when you're saging your home or your space, you just want to, envision your space filled with love and joy and just know that your space is protected, or give thanks for the protection, give thanks for the love, give thanks for the joy and the light and everything that fills your space with goodness and happiness and joy. And then when you're done with that and you feel complete, you're going to light your candle. You're going to light your candle and you're going to put your pennies and leaves and paper all in front of it so it's right there with you. You'll need a pen as well. And then you just close your eyes and take 10 deep belly breaths. And as you're breathing, you're just allowing your mind to be still. And then when you come to a place of stillness and calmness, what you're going to do is you're going to take 1 piece of paper and you're going to write down what it is you'd like to manifest in 2019. And then fold that little piece of paper up and put it on top of one of the leaves. And then you're going to take the second piece of paper and you're going to write down what it is or how it is you want to feel this year. So you can use like an emotional state, like excited, expansive, on fire. That's me. However it is you want to feel, grounded, successful. You can put that on that piece of paper, fold it up, put it on top of another leaf. And then the third one is a wish or desire for the future. And it might be bigger than yourself. So I desire my community or my family or our world kind of stuff. And then write that down and fold it up and put it on a leaf. And so now you've got these 3 leaves with 3 pieces of paper. And what you're going to do is you're going to place a coin on top of each one. And you're going to fold that leaf over so that you have like a little sandwich. Your leaf is the bread, and then you got your folded paper and coin in the center. And then what you're going to do is you're going to pick up the first folded sandwich you have, and you're going to hold it in your hands, maybe in front of your heart, and recite or say out loud to yourself, to the universe, to the all, that I have the power to manifest. I have the power to bring to life whatever it is you're manifesting. So you insert that. And I am ready to receive, and I open myself to allow that flow to flow through me. What's mine is already here, and I'm just moving myself closer to it. Thank you, moon. Thank you, sun. I know my request has already begun. And then take a deep breath and exhale into the leaf bundle. So your breath is kind of moving your intention into your little leaf bundle, and you're charging it up, and then you put it back down. And so then you're going to pick up the next little leaf sandwich you have, and you're going to repeat the same process. And basically this time you're going to say, I have the power to choose how I feel. I have the power to feel whatever it is you want to feel. And I invite only that feeling into my life, and I invite it in now. May my life in 2019 be a reflection of whatever that feeling is, and may the universe conspire to bring me only which evokes this feeling. And in times of need, may the feeling of whatever you're feeling is come to me with ease. May feeling, whatever your feeling is, be easy for me no matter what I'm going through. Thank you. And then you're going to put that to the side, and you're going to take your final leaf bundle. And these last two mantras, I've actually extracted them exactly from Forever Conscious because they're just perfect. I don't think I would change anything, but you may want to. You can write your own stuff around this. Like, it doesn't have to be these words. It really has to be what you feel called to say. Like, it doesn't have to be anything particular. Like, whatever comes from your inside, remember your purpose is within, then that's what you will say or do. It doesn't have to be exact. But with this final leaf bundle, holding it again in your heart, in your hands, right up next to your heart, and repeat or say something like, as the sun and moon align, I make the wish for whatever your wish is, for your community, for the world, and hear my wish, receive it well, for I know only time will tell. I have all I need, I have all I've asked, and I know this wish will soon come to pass. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Blow into your leaf bundle and place it off to the side. And then you're just going to take some deep breaths and then let yourself recenter. So let yourself come back to your place of stillness that you began this whole process with. And then bringing your hands together in Anjali Mudra, which is a prayer position, and give thanks for all the blessings that you have received and that are coming to you. And thank you for Spirit, for hearing what it is that you're requesting. And then once you feel complete with that prayer, you can snuff out your candle. I personally don't snuff out candles. I use tea light candles or small candles when I'm doing ceremony or ritual, and I let them burn out usually. So with this one, I'll let it burn all the way out because I feel like for me that is a way just to know that the energetics of my ritual are continuing just until it naturally dissolves or naturally goes out on its own. So obviously, if you're afraid of burning your house down, don't do that, to put your candle out. All right. And then lastly, what you want to do is you want to take your leaf bundles and you want to bury them. So definitely do that within the next day or 48 hours of completing the ritual. But usually I do my rituals at night, so I would bury them the next morning. And they don't have to be buried anywhere particular. It's just wherever you're called. But I wouldn't bury them in a pot. I would put them in the earth. And if you have like a yard, walk around your yard. Walk around with a quiet heart. Walk around with a quiet mind, and feel into where, like the exact spot that you're being called to plant those intentions. And then you're gonna just dig a little hole and put them in, and you'll just forget about them, and it'll be fine. If you're like living in an apartment and don't really have a yard, that's okay too. I would recommend you maybe go to the beach, or you take a walk in the forest, or you take a walk in a park somewhere. Parks are a little bit harder because there's probably people around, but go somewhere like on a walking path and do that. I used to live in an apartment, and I would walk on this walking path that was behind my apartment complex. And I've done so many ceremonies and rituals back there, some shamanistic, intentional stuff. Even though it wasn't my personal space, it was where I was called to do it, and it's what I had available. So, you just got to figure out how you can get it done, and make sure you're just not making excuses about it if you feel like this is something you want to do. It's really a great way to just be intentional about your life. So I am here to help you do that. I hope that was fun, and I hope you have a great 2019. Also, speaking of signing up for courses, I just want to let you know I have 3 seats available for the Ignite Your Life workshop January 12th, and there's only a maximum of 8 women. So if you are kind of on the fence about it, or you're considering it, or you're not sure if you want to go, call me up. Just like reach out. Let's chat it out and let's see if it's a right fit for you. And if it is, we'll get you registered, because I'd hate for you to miss out on it. It is going to be so amazing. Yeah, for sure. So I'm totally excited about it. And the women are just going to have a great time, and they're going to break through their bullshit so that 2019 is exactly what they want it to be. So, have fun with your ritual, and I will speak to you soon, ladies. Love you. Mwah. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Turn Your Soul On Radio. Go ahead and subscribe below, and if you feel it's worthy of a 5-star review, I'd greatly appreciate your support in this way. If you'd like to go deeper with me, you're welcome to join our private Facebook group, Turn Your Soul On, or take it to a whole nother level and apply for my 4-month Turn Your Soul On Masterclass. You're welcome to do this at drbrandyvictory.com. Whatever you do, turn your soul on.
This podcast is for information purposes only. Dr. Brandy Victory is not a medical doctor, and the views and statements expressed on this podcast are not medical advice. This podcast, including Dr. Brandy Victory and the producers, disclaim responsibility from any possible adverse effects from the use of information contained herein. Opinions of guests are their own, and this podcast does not endorse or accept responsibility for statements made by guests. This podcast does not make any representations or warranties about guest qualifications or credibility. This podcast may contain paid endorsements and advertisements for products or services. Individuals on this podcast may have a direct or indirect financial interest in products or services referred to herein. If you think you have a medical problem, consult a licensed physician.